The shades of ink emerge from ambiguity. These can materialize as sheer cliffs or boundless mountain ridges. Thus, the brush portrays the marvels and grandeurs of the cosmos, thanks to the artist's inspired creativity. Human sounds in the hollow dale draw the travelers treading the path. They reach a cottage where kids are playing, and then settle down to drink wine. The wine's fragrance wafts into the woods as the drinkers admire the wonderful view. The endless expanse of Mount Hua is captured by this image of incredible detail and scope. Splendors of Mount Hua is a landmark accomplishment in China's modern landscape art. Its creator was Master Fu Baoshi. The message embedded in the imagery can be decoded by the dazzling ragged brushstrokes. These nuanced textures are a distinctive feature of Chinese painting. The artist can achieve impressive modeling with remarkably varied texturing.
皴法这个东西呢，在某种意义上讲，它很像西洋画的轮廓。 但是它又不是轮廓，它有的时候很像西洋画的明暗调子，它也不是明暗调子。皴法是中国绘画特质当中一个非常显著的标志，只有中国画有。
This particular painting presents a highly individualized approach to texturing. With the dissolution of the clustered brush, a myriad of tenuous filaments emerge as the ink is being applied. The dramatic strokes are almost palpable. They pulsate with vigor. Here, the brush caresses the rice paper to create vivid modeling and shading. This lends to the image a poignant profundity.
这幅画呢，带有傅抱石先生很典型的抱石村的基本面貌，就是高山仰止。他是把我们传统的攒锋笔法加以发挥，形成他一个个人标志性的符号。
This unique approach first emerged during a war over 8 decades ago. Following Japanese aggression, to answer Mr. Guo Moruo's appeal that artists should help mobilize the masses, Fu Baoshi left Jiangxi province and settled in the wartime capital city Chongqing. Every day, he would trudge through the woods to reach the college where he taught. The impressive landscape of Sichuan came to inspire a sense of awe in the artist. He kept asking himself, what a fine art teacher could do for the motherland. In the depth of a rainy night, Fu Baoshi drowned his sorrows with wine. The indignation against foreign invaders and the love for the motherland drove him to pick up the brush. He smashed the tapered brush vigorously against the paper, with intensified pressure and impact. This marked the birth of Fu Baoshi's texturing that has been admired ever since.
中国历代强调的是中锋用笔，可是傅抱石他把一支笔全部打开，然后自由的把握，使人耳目不是一新，而是耳目一惊，看到了可以这样的画中国画。
In 1942, Fu Baoshi's show left the spectators mesmerized in the mountain city. This stimulating experience inspired a re-examination of China's national character.
这些画里面体现出了一种生机，这种生机就是中国人的一种生命力。对于外侵，对于任何的不利于我们的，在生命力面前呢，它都是渺小的。 所以它也是唤醒我们的民众的一种精神。
The power of painted image knows no bounds. Chinese paintings can depict peacetime prosperity as well as wartime heroism and passionate patriotism. A decade later, the People's Republic of China was emerging. Fu Baoshi adapted his painting style. In September 1960, Fu Baoshi, then director of Jiangsu's Traditional Fine Art Institute, led a team of 13 painters on a 3-month expedition, sketching landscapes of 6 provinces across the 10,000-kilometer journey.
50年代末到60年代初。 我们整个国家欣欣向荣，那么这些画家呢，都在思考一个问题，就是中国画在过去的传统的基础上，如何表现我们取得辉煌成就的新时代。
From the Yangtze Valley to Yellow River, from the Shanxi to Sichuan Basin. The refreshing scenery of the People's Republic of China deeply moved the artist, who was once a wartime patriot. As he viewed the towering peaks of Mount Hua, he was overwhelmed with emotion. But now, what touched him was not the settling drizzle of wartime Chongqing, but the brimming sense of pride for his magnificent, thriving homeland.
他23000里的这种深入生活、体验生活，当他看到这个画上的时候，他会想到我们的国家就会像画上这样顶天立地，向世人展示出一种中国人的这种形象。
With these feelings, Fu Baoshi took up his brush. Looking at these ragged rocks, the spectator can almost hear the rustling brushstrokes at the moment of the painting's creation. The artist's spirit seems to linger on in the imagery and in this animated scenery of nature and humanity. Fu Baoshi once said, "A great painter is always in touch with their times." His creativity was like a beacon offering guidance. Today, we can still sense how the artist has merged himself into the natural world and portrayed China's effervescence. The spirit of Chinese painting is the ultimate embodiment of China's national character.